Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Bronx Community Board 7's General Board Meeting. My name is Carla Cabrera Carrera. I am the Deputy District Manager. We will now begin the public hearing. On September 22nd, Mayor Adams issued Executive Order 210, extending the state of emergency through February 15th. Community boards are able to continue to act under the state of emergency section of the video conferencing law, chapter 56 of the laws of 2022. Community board meetings notifications are sent via email through our marketing tools and our social media sites. The meeting minutes will appear on our website and recordings on YouTube. Please remain muted when you're not speaking, so you do not interrupt participants' ability to listen or to speak. If you're calling in from a landline, listen to the following controls for joining. To hear all available commands, enter ** on your phone, *6 to mute or unmute yourself, *9 to virtually raise your hand. Community Board 7 has a code of conduct for meetings with penalties and actions, and it reads as follows. Bronx Community Board 7 has the right to remove and/or ask a member of the public to leave a meeting or block participation of anyone who engages in inappropriate conduct, including but not limited to obscene or offensive images or language, personal attacks, threats, or any other behavior that reasonably impedes the orderly administration of the meeting. Repeated offenses will be reviewed by the board's executive committee or any other assigned committee for a ban, the amount of time to be objectively determined by the above committee of the participant in the event of repeated disruptive behavior. If the person's outbursts or attacks continue, this will be considered disturbing the peace and the authorities shall be summoned. I will now start the public hearing by calling on our elected officials. And Assembly Member Jeffrey Dinowitz.
Thank you. Good morning. I don't even know what time of the day it is. Hello, everybody. Thank you for allowing me to go first. I'm bouncing from one thing to another, so I really appreciate it. I should start by saying I see two of my new colleagues here, John Sicaro Jr. and George Alvarez, and I just want to welcome them. I think we are very fortunate to have them representing parts of Community Board 7. I look forward to working with them. I will be quick because I'm sure they want to say some of the same things I will, so I don't want to steal everything. The governor gave her State of the State address a couple of weeks ago. She brought up a number of important topics, and among others, she is talking about addressing the issue of housing and trying to find ways to create a huge number of additional housing for the state of New York. I know the district that I represent, which includes Norwood, I don't know where they would build more housing. It's very crowded as it is, but I think generally speaking, we do need more housing overall, and I applaud the governor for that. She's also talking about putting $1 billion extra into mental health services, given everything that's been going on the past couple of years, given the increase in crime in certain areas. We certainly have tremendous needs, and that's something we all look forward to working with her on as we now start to deal with the state budget. One of the areas of particular concern to me is the MTA, making sure that public transit is fully funded, and we need to not only deal with subways, but the communities that I represent need much better bus service, and that's something that I think we need to focus on in the coming months. One thing I'm going to be working on is what I call the Climate Change Superfund Bill, the Climate Superfund Bill, which is meant to make the polluters pay and extract billions and billions of dollars from oil companies, not increases in taxes, to fight climate change. It would amount to $3 billion a year over 25 years, $75 billion. And if we don't address the issue of climate change now, I think many of us agree it'll definitely be too late. And it's the beginning of the legislative session, so we just have a lot of things we're going to be doing in Albany, but I will leave the rest to Assembly members Sicaro and Alvarez to talk about. And I thank you for allowing me to go first. And congratulations to all the new people in all the different positions here. I know there's been a lot of changes. And I look forward to continuing to work with everybody on board 7. So thank you all so much.
Thank you. Thank you for making the time. Anybody here from the mayor's office?
Hi, this is Alina. How are you doing this evening? Happy New Year's to you all. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Obviously I just wanted to say hi to CB7. I know that I know many of the people there, and for the ones that don't know me, I'm Alina Dow. I'm the Bronx Borough Director for the Mayor's Community Affairs. And I am the liaison between the mayor's office and all of the city agencies. I believe I put my information in the chat, so please feel free to contact me. I do want to just share that there was a couple of announcements. I'm not sure if everyone was aware that the mayor has a new initiative to communicate directly with New Yorkers. So I will be able to share a link online if you wanted to sign up for his newsletter. One of the things that he wants to make sure is that New Yorkers are getting the message directly from him. And that's something that we were outside of this community making sure. He also just launched with the small business services. There's a small business initiative to get small businesses low interest rate loans. So that is some information as well. But as always, I make myself available. So please feel free to reach out to me. Happy New Year. I look forward to working with you guys all.
Thank you, Elena. And I have just been made aware that Assemblymember George Alvarez is here personally. Thank you for taking the time. Welcome to Bronx City 7.
Thank you very much. Good evening for everybody. I just want to take the chance and opportunity to introduce myself and the new assembly member of the 78 district. And like my colleague, assembly member Dina would say, we're bouncing back from one task to another task and jumping from one to another. But I don't want to lose the opportunity to say Happy New Year, to thanks everybody for sending me to Albany to make sure that we do what we supposed to do, what is right for the people, the 78th. And pretty soon we're gonna share more good news with the community. Right now, we are located at 1 Fordham Plaza, Suite 1008. Anyone who need anything just can go to visit our office. My chief of staff is here on this meeting, but by March 1st, we are moving from that office to a storefront office just to give more accessibility to the community to request the services that they may need. So I just want to say thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you and welcome again. At the New York City Public Advocate's Office. The New York City Comptroller's Office.
Yes, good evening. This is Grim Mayhew from the New York City Comptroller's Office. We have a couple of updates this evening. The first one is that last month, the Comptroller released 2 audits that found loan and grant administrators did not perform adequate due diligence to ensure eligibility and equitable distribution of assistance for the COVID-19 loan and grants that was issued by SBS. Businesses in the Bronx received far fewer loans and grants compared to Manhattan businesses. For the Bronx business applicants who received loans, it was only 9 out of 519 applicants. And in regards to the grants, the Bronx accounts for 7.9% of businesses with under 5 employees, but only received 3% of the grants. So if you're interested to read the rest of the report, I'll put that in the chat for everyone. And then secondly, we released a report on heat code enforcement. It was released on January 9th, the anniversary of the Twin Parks fire. In the report, it analyzed heat code complaints, violations, and interventions between 2017 and 2021. Some of the findings were that small percentage of buildings lack heat. In in a small percentage of buildings, lack of heat is persistent and severe. And also it was very difficult for 311 complaints to actually turn into violations. So if you want to read more of that, we also have recommendations that we provided to HBD in particular regarding heat code enforcement. I will put that reported in the chat. And also if you want to reach out to me, my information is in the chat. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bronx Borough President's Office.
Hey, good evening, everyone. It's Ish Gonzalez from the Bronx Borough President's Office. I just wanted to give two quick announcements. First and foremost, the community board applications are now online. Before, for some of the members that have been here for some time, well, anybody that's been here before, I mean, in the last year, knows that the community board applications historically have always been paper. So now we finally digitized those, and it did take a lot longer than we anticipated, but we're glad that they are finally available online. So please, please, please share that far and wide. Anyone that is interested in becoming a community board member, I encourage you to share it with as many people as possible. And please note that the youngest applicant, I mean, you can have 16, 17-year-olds apply for community board to be a community board member. So we want to encourage everyone to participate no matter what part of the district. And obviously, if you meet that age requirement, then we encourage everyone to participate. And also for some folks that have been here, I'm not sure if you've heard. If you have, then this is just going to be a repeat. But for the folks that haven't heard, Tom Lucania, which is the director of community boards here at the Bronx Borough President's Office, is now transitioned to a different title. He will now be serving as the senior advisor in our office. And Kiara Gannon from Community Board 8, she was the district manager over at Community Board 8, will now be the new director of community boards as of February 1st. So going forward, obviously, Tom, myself will always be here to assist, but the point person in terms of community boards will be Kiara. And of course, if you guys have any questions, concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll put my information in the chat right now. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Councilmember Purina Sanchez.
Hello. Hi, Carla. And hello, everybody. It's really great to see you all. Just sharing a few updates, although I feel like I've seen many of you. Thank you so much over the last few weeks. So on Saturday, we had our second workshop for the Kingsbridge Armory redevelopment. We had several hundred people attend from the neighborhood. The school safety agents were telling me that I had to kick people out, and we had a whole argument about it. But I just want to say thank you to everyone who was able to join, because it really helps us, the elected officials, to have a stronger legs to stand on when we advocate for funding and we say, you know, this is what the community wants to see. We discussed redevelopment scenarios for other armories in the city, other redevelopment projects in the country that we could learn from. We also had recaps from the first sessions, which included, you know, how folks are talking about wanting to make sure that the armory is serving young people, that there's training opportunities, that there are economic development opportunities, and not just, you know, any old jobs, but good jobs, and, you know, even ownership opportunities. So more to come on that. We're going to be having workshops. We're going to be having 2 more workshops next month, and then the month after. The next workshop is really going to be the last one, because the 4th workshop is going to be the presentation of the community's vision, the vision document. Also, just want to harp on the community board applications. Every single person who is here is going to be reapplying. Please do. Thank you for your service, and please, I hope everybody reapplies. Community Board 7 has some vacancies, so please tell friends. And then lastly, as chair of Housing and Buildings, we had a hearing today. Have been really focused on code enforcement, and today's hearing was on the legalization of basement apartments, which is a source of affordable housing housing that is untapped in the city of New York. So if you have thoughts on that, please send them along. And great to see everybody. Apply for funds from the council. That's the last thing. I got you. That was right on time.
Thank you, council member. Anybody here from the Bronx District Attorney's Office?
Yes, that would be me. Good evening. My name is Robert Spencer again. I just only have a few announcements. The upcoming events. There's one this Saturday. It's called Not on My Watch Red Sand event with Senator Bailey, Jamal Bailey. I believe our office will be joining his office for this event. We just had our mock trials today. And that's basically, that's our felony trial training where the attorneys actually present to the public how they select jurors. And that was a success. I believe we had over 30 people. We will be having in March, a prom dress drive and a suit drive in April. And I'll have the details on that next month. Our 6th annual Child Safety Fair, it will be in April, either April 15th or the 29th, trying to get that solidified, I guess. Crime Victims Vigil, that's March 16th, and then we have the reentry on March 17th. And then we will be having a youth summit in May. And that's all the announcements.
So good evening, everyone. This is Carlos Torres, also from the Bronx District Attorney's Office. Great job, Spencer. Just want to make a correction. Our office is going to be hosting our reentry summit Wednesday, April 19th. Our reentry event, April 19th, from 12 to 4 p.m. Once this location has been secured, I will let CB7 know so they can share their flyer real quick. We also have an initiative which is called Bronx CAMS, Community Assisted Mapping Systems. This is voluntary. This is free. If a resident or business owner has cameras on their property, they can register those cameras with our office. The purpose of this is to promote public safety, but also to help with successful prosecution. I will still be on this call if anyone has any questions. In the meantime, what I'll do is I'll email the application and the letterhead in regards to the Bronx CAMS program to the district manager. Thank you.
I also have a correction. The Crime Victims Vigil is actually April 16th. I'm sorry.
Thank you so much. The 52nd precinct.
Hey, Carla, how are you? Thanks for having me tonight. And I just want to wish everyone a Happy New Year's. Some of you haven't seen, and just thank everyone just for the things that they did to make our holiday season successful. And everyone with the donations, really appreciate by the 5-2 precinct. Couldn't do it without everyone here. The 5-2 precinct overall is down 19% in the crime in the 28-day period. Last year at this time, we had 199 index crimes. This year we're at 160. Only changes or actually increases are in one robbery, which we have 38 for this year, and last year we had 35. And in grand larceny, last year we had 25, and this year we have 30. Those are the only categories that we're up a little bit on. Overall, we're doing well. A few incidents, but nothing too crazy. The next community council meeting will be on Thursday. It'll be Zoom for the next 3 months. I'll put that in the chat. And if anybody has any questions for me, please feel free to put it in the chat or email me. I'll put my information in the chat. Thank you again.
Thank you. State Senator Gustavo Rivera.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I'll go ahead and start off by introducing myself. I know Rachel had been the point of contact. My name is Sally Mendoza. I'm a community affairs representative with Senator Rivera. And I do have a couple of updates. Our office has a couple of partnerships with Department of Finance, with NICA, the PU unit. So if you or anyone you may know of is dealing with any issues regarding with their landlord or rental arrears, have them contact their office at 718-933-2034. If we also have a partnership with NIMIC that provides assistance with SNAP, SCREE, and immigration. We have monthly immigration clinics at our office. So if you know anyone or yourself is dealing with some issues, please feel free to contact our office. And that is pretty much it on my end. So I look forward to working with all of you in the next couple months. Thank you.
Thank you, Sadi. State Senator Robert Jackson's office.
So good evening, everyone. I'm State Senator Robert Jackson. I am new to the Bronx. As you know, the lines were redrawn. And so 1/3 of my district encompasses from Morris Heights to University Heights, along with Cambridge Heights and parts of Riverdale. So I'm up in Albany now. I'll be back to New York tomorrow night, but I wanted to introduce myself to all of you. I will try my best to be at the next public meeting, as long as I'm not a conflict with Albany here in the legislative process. But Lucia Bradshaw is my community liaison. She used to work with former city council member Fernando Cabrera, along with Carmen Perez, who was an organizer and for the Bronx for me. But I look forward to working with all of you on behalf of the people of the districts that I now serve in the Bronx, which I said is part of the 1/3 of my district, and the other 2/3 is on 155th Street, Washington Heights, Inwood, and Marble Hill. But that's what my district is, and so I look forward to working with you on all the issues and concerns that impact the people of the Bronx. I appreciate the opportunity to come in front of you for this moment.
Thank you, Senator, and welcome to Bronx Community Board 7.
Thank you.
Assembly Member John Zaccaro.
Hi, good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. My name is Ornella. I'm with the Office of Assembly Member John Zaccaro. I wanted to inform everyone that we will be keeping the same office. We will be operating from 2018 Williamsbridge Road. The office is going through minor renovations, but we are more than happy to welcome constituents in and help with issues that they are facing. I will be sharing my contact and our office contact here in the group chat, so please feel free to reach us with any concerns. Also, you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for any updates and upcoming events that we'll be hosting. I look forward to working together. Thank you again.
Thank you. Assembly Member Yudel Catapia's office. Council Member Oswald Felice's office.
Hey, George Cook here from Oswald Felice's office. Our office is actually located at 573 Hoffman Avenue, and our number is 718-842-8100. We are open from 10 to 4 p.m. Also, on the line is also Esperanza Diaz. She's also part of our office and part of the constituent services. Right now, we was working on applying seniors to the Webster housing. That's right next to Botanical Gardens. So we'll be helping our seniors fill out those applications for the Webster housing. Also, we also have immigration lawyer that's there every Tuesday, and she's there from 10 to 4. You can also call us at 718-842-8100. And if you have any questions, my email is in the chat, georgecook@council.nyc.gov. And that's all.
Thank you, George. Council Member Eric Dinowitz's office.
Hi, this is Amanda from Councilmember Dinowitz's office. A few updates. Discretionary budget applications are open, so if you need help applying for the fiscal year 2024, you can reach out to our office to get more information. And I'm sure, as a lot of you know, last week, Intro 660A passed the council, which was his first piece of legislation to pass the council. And we sent over a letter to CB7 to express our sincerest gratitudes, but I also like to take the time on his behalf to thank CB7 for your support on the bill. This bill is going to help so many individuals, and we look forward to working with you all on more important pieces of legislation as well. And as far as casework, we've been helping a lot of constituents with like Con Edison bills, rent overcharge cases, Section 8 issues, and rental assistance. So if you or anyone you know may need some help, please contact our office and we'll do our best to help you or connect you to the appropriate agency or the appropriate person. Also, we work with ACE to help clean up around the district, especially in the Norwood area. So they're a great organization, but just let us know where you feel like needs extra cleaning or like graffiti cleanups so we can send them out for that. But that's all for updates.
Thank you, Amanda. And moving on, we have Lowell Green.
Hi, I just wanted to alert the community that the former nun convent at Bainbridge and 211th Street is going to be transformed this is what I've been told, into a condominium with at least 13 parking spaces in back. And they're going to use the existing convent as foundation for the next 5 to 6 flights going up. The community is a little on edge because they want to make sure that it is not going to be a shelter. So I'm asking everybody who goes that way to just keep an eye on it. And if they see anything suspicious, please let the community board know about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Lowell. And we will share our contact information in the chat so you can reach out to us if you have any concerns regarding matters in your community. Next, we have Armando AJ Ramos.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Ready, 1, 2, 3. In honor of the historic 30th anniversary of Ronald I. Jacobowitz's June 17th, 1993 City Council Candidate Forum and the recent designation of 3202 Kossuth Avenue as the Ronald I. Jacobowitz residence on the New York City LGBT Historic Sites Project, I am once again asking for the installation pride flags on Marsh Salute Parkway at the Bronx Victory Memorial this Pride or June in honor of him and other historic LGBT figures from here, like our newly redistricted congressman and former city council member, Richie Torres. Mr. Jacobowitz co-founded Gay Men of the Bronx in 1990, the Bronx Lesbian and Gay Men United for Political Action in 1992, and worked actively with other citywide LGBT groups to organize the 1992 We Are Everywhere conference, which was held at Lehman College and sought to create a grassroots network for LGBT New Yorkers, particularly those in the outer boroughs. That same year, he received the City of New York Certificate of Appreciation from Mayor David Dinkins for his LGBT advocacy work. And in 1996, a year after his untimely death, Kossuth Avenue between Marsh Salute Parkway North and East 208th Street was renamed in his honor. His papers, which provide insight into his LGBT activism of the Bronx in the 80s and 90s, are even housed at the New York Public Library and are available upon request. So please honor them and the unique and often overlooked legacy of CB7's LGBTQIA+ community and Jewish communities with this request. Thank you so much. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you, AJ. Next, we have Makaya Palmer.
Hi, good evening. I did request if I'd be able to play a 3-minute clip. I don't know if that's going to be permissible.
No, you have 2 minutes to speak. But we do have the recording from our health committee meeting, and you shared the video there, so that's available on our YouTube channel.
Absolutely. Well, good night, folks. Makaya Palmer representing the Morris Park Seventh-day Adventist Church. just creating a health initiative for the Bronx. We'll be launching the Morris Park Seventh-day Adventist Church Fitness Club starting January 29th, which is Sunday, every day, 7:30 a.m., half hour. And Monday through Friday, we'll have it in person at our location, which is 800 Morris Park Avenue. And Sundays will be via live stream. I put my contact information in the chat. I hope that that will be reposted so you can contact myself if you're interested. Of course, it bears repeating that the Bronx for 13 consecutive years has ranked number 62 out of all 62 counties in health factors. And in addition to that, the income level is the lowest statewide, if I'm not mistaken. And for that reason, we decided to bring this to the community for free. So for that reason, we are soliciting your support. That can be via donations. Prayerfully, the flyer will be put in. There's a QR code that you'll be able to scan to learn how you can assist us in that department. But most importantly, I would love for you all to utilize your circle of influence to let folks know that you don't have to spend $100 per session to get fit and to reverse your diabetes naturally, to reduce your high blood pressure and things like this. We'll be offering counseling, consultations, and yeah, this is just one initiative among many. Thank you for hearing me. If you have any questions, you can email me or also just visit us at any time. We'll be open 7 days a week, starting the 29th at 800 Morris Park Avenue. Thank you.
Thank you. And last but not least, CDO. Oh. CDO Guerino.
Yes. All right. Good evening, everyone. New year, new faces, a new beginning. Looking forward to working in the community and with all our elected officials and, of course, the community board. Once again, I'm trying to bring, of course, the attention to unfinished business from years past. The DeWood Clinton campus pool is still not up and running, and there are four high schools in that building, over 1,000 more kids, and none of them can go swimming. I hope something can be done about that. I want to bring up forestry, still not cutting the trees that have been requested for 4 or 5 years in the community. A new problem now is a lot of the cross streets and cut curbs are being blocked by puddling water. Therefore, it freezes in the winter, and people in wheelchairs, women with baby carriages can't make the crosses through the streets because they are flooded all the time, ever since one little rain and they flood. Something needs to be done. We need to look into this. I want to thank DOT. They painted the underpass at Bedford Park Boulevard. 3 years. We waited long enough for it to be done. I want to thank everybody. Looking forward to working with everybody, and God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, Sirio, and we'll be following up with you on some of the issues that you raised. Chairperson Yahaira Arias, this concludes our January 2023 General Board's meetings public hearing session.
Hi, good evening, everybody. We are now going into the rest of our agenda. We're going to move forward with the, district manager's report.
All right, thank you. Just 1 second, please. I did not have, so our office hours are we're available remotely Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And our open is available to in-person visits from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We are encouraging everyone to make an appointment. just so we know that you do really need to come into the office. And we are working on fixing our phone numbers, the 718 number. For some reason, it's not rerouting the calls to our personal phones. So if you wish to communicate with the office, the phone number is 929-496-0748. And I will also put that in the chat so you have it. And we will let you know hopefully next month if our phone number is up and running. Our intern is no longer with us as of December. She has moved on to a remote position. Councilmember Purina Sanchez's office is helping us address the graffiti outside of our office gate. And the Jerome Gunhill bid is looking to address graffiti on the Jerome Gunhill corridor. So if you have any areas that are of concern, you please send them to our office. I will put my email and my phone number in the chat. And the Office of Cannabis Management is it's accepting comments on their regulations from now until February 13th. I will also, I will put the link in the chat and also an email address where you can send your feedback. And if you have any complaints or questions regarding any cannabis establishments in the community, you may feel free to also email us about it, and we'll inquire about those with the Office of Cannabis Management. And we are participating in the Department of Youth and Community Development Youth Count survey on Thursday and Friday. We are surveying youth ages 14 to 24 about their housing experiences. And I think the Bronx Borough President's Office also announced this, but the community board application is opened, and we will make sure that we share this on a newsletter. So if you do not receive it, please also send us an email, and we'll be more than gladly to add you to our listserv. Thank you.
Thank you, Carla. We're going to move on to the chairperson's remarks. Okay, so I have a few little updates. We're going to make this, I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible. So first and foremost, we want to welcome all the new elected officials. They're now a part of our community, and we look forward to working with all of you and having you attend our meetings and give us feedback as to legislation and events that go on in the district. And we look forward to working with all of you and the CB staff as well. The second thing, just to everybody, I don't know if everybody got the email, but I want to reiterate it again. So the open meetings law was extended by the mayor to February 15th. So we will be meeting in person up until, we'll be meeting virtually until then. And we expect that the law is going to be extended throughout the winter. We said this before, so we can expect to be virtually for a couple more months. The next thing is attendance and participation of the board members. We want to have good attendance at our meetings. So if we can, if you have an issue or you cannot make a meeting for whatever reason, please let us know ahead of time so that we are aware. Active participation allows the board to function better and for us to get the work done that we need to get done. A few things that were already said. Ciara Gannon is our new deputy commissioner, deputy community board at the BP's office. So she will join us come February 1st. Tom is no longer our point of contact since he's moved on, and we're going to welcome her like we do with everybody else. Next, the cannabis, the cannabis forum, like Carla said, we are attending those by the BP's office. They're doing a lot of input as to what that is and what it means to our communities. If anyone has any complaints, there is an email address that I will put in my report, and also let the board know so that we can follow up and we know what's going on as well. And with that being said, that is my report. Okay, so we're gonna move on to, I did notify everybody at the beginning that it was gonna be a change to the agenda in which we are going to take attendance first, and then we'll move on. Is everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Great, so I will be taking off once again, my chair hat and put on my secretary hat and take attendance. So please let me know if you're in attendance by saying present. Okay, Leuris Acosta.
Leuris Acosta, present.
Thank you. Tasha Andrews.
Tasha Andrews, present.
Thank you. Betty Arce.
Betty Arce, present.
Thank you. Jahaira Arias, present. Emanuela Samoa. Emanuela Samoa. Eric Asensio.
Eric Asensio, present.
Thank you. Michelle Avila.
Michelle Avila, present.
Thank you. Toby Buford.
Buford, present.
Thank you. Myrna Calderon.
Myrna Calderon is present.
Thank you. Ruth Caraballo.
Ruth Caraballo is present.
Thank you. Manjur Shahuri.
Manjur Chaudhary, present.
Thank you. Sandra Erickson.
Sandra Erickson, present.
Thank you. Nora Fury. Nora Fury. Hugo Gonzalez.
Hugo Gonzalez, present.
Thank you. Alfred Grant.
Alfred Grant, present.
Thank you. Lowell Green.
Lowell Green is present.
Helene Hartman Kanowski.
Helene Hartman Kutnowski, present.
Thank you. Jean Hill.
Jean Hill is present.
Thank you. Mama Boer Jewel. Mama Boer Jewel. Andrew Leosa. Andrew Leosa. Rosalie Leslie. Sorry, Andrew, was that you?
Yeah, Andrew Leosa, present.
Thank you. Rosalie Leslie.
Present.
Thank you. Jenny Medina. Shaniqua Newton. Taina Peña.
Taina Peña, present.
Daisy Perry.
Daisy Perry, present.
Thank you. Lajit Pasari.
Lajit Basari is present.
Thank you. Edgar Ramos.
Edgar Ramos, present.
Thank you. Helene Red. Helene Red. Janelle Robinson.
Janelle Robinson, present.
Thank you. Chad Royer.
Chad Royer, present.
Thank you. Victor Saldana.
Victor Saldaña, present.
Thank you. Maharani Subajan.
Maharani Sibajan, present.
Thank you. Carlos Sosa.
Carlos Sosa, present.
Thank you. Samantha Suvatis.
Samantha Suvatis, present.
Thank you. Barbara Stronzer.
Barbara Stronzer is present.
Thank you. Gwendolyn Thomas Steed. Gwendolyn Thomas Steed. Adeline Walker Santiago.
Adeline Walker Santiago is present.
Thank you. And Helene Wilson.
Helene Wilson is present.
Thank you. Okay, we have a quorum.
Hi, Julika is present also.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Julika Garcia for the office of Assembly Member Judel Catapia.
No, honey, this is the attendance for the board.
Hi,
Sorry,
Mabubu Joel is present. Sorry, my phone was silent. Mabubu Joel is present. All right,
Mama board, thank you.
thank you.
A second, let me find you here. Okay.
Jahaira, Assembly Member John Sakaro is here with us. The Assembly Member, could you introduce yourself? We'll give you a few minutes.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much, Carla. And I'll be brief. I know Ornella was on the line as I was just finishing up one other call, but I wanted to make sure that I stopped by and introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the newly elected Assembly Member for the 80th Assembly District, replacing now Senator Natalia Fernandez. And my district encompasses the Norwood community, which falls within Community Board 7. And so I'm excited to represent, and actually being a former board member of CB7 a few years ago, I'm excited to be back and representing this community in the State Assembly. For the sake of redundancy, I'm sure Ornella mentioned that our office is currently in transition and in the middle of renovations. And so we look forward to being up and running in the few weeks. I will have an in-district inauguration that I will make sure everyone gets an invitation to, as well as an office opening to welcome in the residents of the community to come into a space where, we hope and is yours. It's a community office. We're here to serve. I'm currently in Albany right now. For those who don't know, the first 6 months out of the year, half of the week is my time spent in Albany, moving and pushing forward legislation. We will be tackling the state budget very soon. And just really look forward to getting to know each and every one of you, those who I don't know, those who I've known for a long time, in the work that we've been doing. No stranger to the area and to the community and the work, that happens, and a lot of the effort that a lot of you board members put in. And so I just wanted to come on. I wanted to say hello. And I look forward to working with each and every one of you on the betterment of our community. And so with that, I'm happy to answer any questions if there are any, but if not, feel free to move forward on the agenda, and I look forward to meeting with you all very, very soon.
Thank you, Assembly Member, and welcome. We look forward to working with you and your office and your team. So thank you, and good luck in everything that you do up there in Albany.
Thank you.
Okay, with that being said, we're going to move along. Since we just took attendance, we met quorum. Now we're going to move on to the secretary position. I do have an announcement to make on that. There were 2 nominations last month. Unfortunately, Helene Red eventually declined the nomination. So therefore, Ruth Caraballo is the only running nominee. So can I have a motion on the floor to make it official and to vote for Ruth Caraballo to be the Secretary of CB7? Do I have?
Make a motion.
To vote.
Myrna Calderon.
Thank you, Myrna. Thank you, Chad. Barbara, thank you for seconding the motion, and I will take that vote. Give me 1 second to bring up the attendance sheet up again. Okay. Leuris Acosta.
Euris Acosta approves. Congratulations.
Thank you. Tasha Andrews.
Tasha Andrews abstains, but only because I don't know her, but I wish her the best of luck.
Thank you. Betty Arce.
Betty Arce approves.
Thank you. Jahaira Arias approves. Emanuela Samoa. Eric Asensio.
Eric Asensio approves.
Thank you. Michelle Avila.
Michelle Avila approves.
Thank you. Toby Buford.
Toby Buford approves.
Thank you. Myrna Calderon.
Myrna Calderon approves.
Thank you. Ruth Caraballo. Manjur
Ruth
Sharma.
Caraballo. I don't think I can vote for this.
Approve. Thank you, Manjur.
You're welcome.
Sandra Erickson.
Sandra Erickson approves.
Thank you. Nora Fury. Hugo Gonzalez.
Hugo Gonzalez approves, and congratulations.
Alfred Grant.
Alfred Grant approves.
Thank you. Lowell Green,
Lowell Green approves.
Helene Hartman Kanowski,
Helene
Yeah.
Hartmanowski approves.
Helene,
Jean Hill,
Jean Hill approves.
thank you. Mama Bourjewel,
Woodrow approve.
thank you. Andrew Leosa,
Andrew Leosa approves the motion.
thank you. Rosalie Leslie,
Rosalie Leslie approves.
thank you. Jenny Medina, Shaniqua Newton, Taina Peña,
Tina Peña approves.
thank you. Daisy Perry,
Daisy Perry approves.
thank you. Claudia Pisari,
Elijah Blasari approves.
thank you. Edgar Ramos,
Edgar Ramos approves.
thank you. Helene Red, Janelle Robinson,
Janelle Robinson approves.
thank you. Chad Royer,
Chad Royer approves. Congratulations.
Victor Saldana,
Victor Saldaña approves.
thank you. Maharani Subajan,
Maharani Sibajan approves.
thank you. Carlos Sosa, Carlos Sosa, Samantha Suvatis,
Samantha Suvatis approves.
thank you. Barbara Stronser,
Barbara Stronser approves.
thank you. Gwendolyn Thomas Steed, Adeline Walker Santiago,
Adeline Walker Santiago approves.
thank you. And Helene Wilson,
Helene Wilson approves.
thank you. Okay. Congratulations, Ruth. You are now Bronx Community Board 7 Secretary.
Thank you so very much. I look forward to continue to serve my community and all of you in all of the work that we do, and for up to a wonderful year.
Thank you. I will pass on the baton to her, and we will get going come next month with the meeting minutes and acquainting her as Secretary of the Board. Congratulations. Okay. So now we're going to move on with the agenda. So we're going to review last month's minutes. Carla, can you put them on, please?
Wait, say that again?
He knows about
A minute. Share the minutes on the screen. Okay, here we have the minutes of last month's general board meeting. So has everybody gotten a chance to take a look at them? Can give you a minute or so to review them. We had the elected officials, as we all know, the elected officials. Scroll down. We have the district manager's link, report. Okay, review of the minutes. There was a few motions and there was a lot of discussion in reference to the motion by the Education Committee. It's very detailed because it has to do with education and things that can affect children in our district. Okay. So we made it to that. We had the nominations for the secretary. And then we had the committee reports, which were already sent in the executive minutes last time. So we're just going to make a quick note to reference on that. We're trying to make the minutes more condensed, not overly repetitive. Okay. I just been informed that Councilmember Eric Dinowitz has just joined us and he would like to say a few words. Is everybody okay with that? Okay.
That's fine.
Councilmember Eric Dinowitz.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, I'm a little late. I was hosting a community safety meeting in another part of the district. You know, safety and quality of life is extremely important to me because it's important to you. So certainly continue to reach out to my office about that, but I'm going to always around the district trying to work with our community partners, including the NYPD. I understand Amanda gave the great report, so I don't need to repeat anything. I just want to say thank you to everyone on Community Board 7. You sent a letter, you wrote a letter of support supporting my bill 660A, which is going to help thousands of kids with disabilities graduating high school acquire their accommodations that they need and deserve in college. I think Amanda reported, but it passed the city council. It's awaiting the mayor last week, and it's awaiting the mayor's signature. This is a monumental achievement. I don't think that a bill like this has been passed anywhere else in the country. And your support was very meaningful and helpful in getting it passed. So I did just want to take a moment to thank everyone here for their support and to always reiterate that I'm always here. Continue to reach out to my office for anything that we could be helpful with.
Thank you, Councilmember, and congratulations on getting that bill passed.
Thank you.
We're going to move forward with our agenda. And we just took a look at the last month's minutes, and can I have a motion to, sorry, Andrew, you had your hand up?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my question is, it appears that a computer software or artificial intelligence or something wrote the minutes at the bottom of page 5 onto page 6. In reading it, and there are times where it makes no sense at all. So a computer must have done it. I'll read, and I think some people know extended time on exams, maybe certain technology. If you have, maybe you need a power, professional things like that. And then 12th grade hits, and in the IEP there is, so it doesn't make sense.
No, those were the council members' words verbatim. I just happened to put them all together because there was a long explanation as to his bill. So I can clarify those minutes. That's not a problem, Andrew.
Thank you.
With that being said, can I have a motion to accept the minutes?
I move to accept the minutes, Chad.
Thank you, Chad.
I second it, Barbara Stranza.
Thank you, Barbara. Okay, and okay. Leuris Acosta.
Leuris Acosta approves.
Tasha Andrews.
Tasha Andrews approves.
Thank you. Betty Arce.
Betty Arce approves.
Jahira Arias approves. Emanuela Samoa. Eric Asensio.
Eric Asensio approves.
Michelle Avila.
Michelle Avila approves.
Thank you. Toby Buford.
Toby Buford approves.
Thank you. Myrna Calderon.
Myrna Calderon approves.
Thank you. Ruth Caraballo.
Ruth Caraballo approves.
Thank you. Manjur Shahuri.
Manjur Chaudhary approve.
Thank you. Sandra Erickson.
Sandra Erickson approves.
Thank you. Nora Fury. Hugo Gonzalez.
Hugo Gonzalez approves.
Thank you. Alfred Grant.
Alfred Grant approves.
Thank you. Lowell Green.
Lowell Green approves.
Thank you. Helene Hartman Kanowski.
Helene Hartman Kutnowski approves.
Thank you. Jean Hill.
Jean Hill approves.
Thank you. Mama Bourjewel. Andrew Leosa.
Andrew Leosa approves the motion.
Thank you. Rosalie Leslie.
Rosalie Leslie approves.
Thank you. Jenny Medina, not here. Shaniqua Newton, it's not here. Taina Peña.
Can you repeat that again, please?
This is approval, your vote on the minutes of last month's general
I
board.
apologize. I approve.
Thank you. Daisy Perry.
Daisy Perry approves.
Thank you. Plaji Pasari.
Plaji Plasari approves.
Edgar Ramos, thank you.
Edgar Ramos approves.
Thank you. Helene Red. Janelle Robinson.
Janelle Robinson approves.
Thank you. Chad Royer.
Chad Royer approves.
Victor Saldana. Maharani Subajan.
Maharani Sibajan approves.
Thank you. Carlos Sosa. Samantha Suvatis.
Samantha Suvatis present. Approved, sorry.
Thank you. Barbara Stronser.
Barbara Stronser approves.
Thank you. Gwendolyn Thomas Steed. Adeline Walker Santiago.
Adeline Walker Santiago approves.
Thank you. And Helene Wilson.
Helene Wilson is here.
Thank you.
Apologies, this is Victor. I was driving. Victor Saldana approves.
Thank you, Victor. Okay, motion passes. We're going to move on to, okay. We have a motion from Parks and Education and Cultural Affairs. Barbara?
Okay, good evening, everybody. We have a request from the Amateur Astronomers Association for a letter of support to the Parks Department. The association is planning to move an observatory from Nassau Community College to Jerome Park. And by Jerome Park, I mean the grassy area on Goulden Avenue, directly opposite Harris Field. Once they move the observatory to that position, they're working with a group called Dirtworks Landscaping, and they will plan to put in a narrow cement path and cement works around the observatory. They also plan to plant some new trees and shrubs. The observatory will be open not only to the public, but also to the 8 public schools in the area who may use it from time to time. At this point, the committee was in favor of sending a letter of support to the Department of Parks and Recreation, stating that we are in support of the Amateur Astronomers Association proposed New York City Public Observatory installation at Jerome Park. Do we have a second to that motion?
I'll second. Chad Royer.
Thank you. Do we have any questions about what they're planning to do? They hope to get the observatory in place sometime this spring.
Barbara, can we just make sure that it is wheelchair accessible? I mentioned that because you said they plan to do a small pavement that leads to the observatory, and it needs to be a little bit bigger to accommodate people who navigate life in wheelchairs.
Okay, I don't have the direct number of feet the proposed path is, but I could find out for you.
Barbara, Bart is on, so I
Oh,
don't
is
know,
he
Bart,
on? would you like to?
Okay. Yes, he's on.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you,
good, Bart,
Barbara.
thank you.
Yeah, nice to see you again. So the total square footage of the concrete is, or the walkway, it may not even end up being concrete. We may go with a flagstone or brickwork or something that is more permeable. But the total, I think the total area is only about 250 or 300 square feet. It's not a lot, but the whole idea of putting the walkway in was for wheelchair accessibility and ADA requirements. So we've been working with Parks right from the get-go to do the best job we can for ADA requirements.
Okay, thank you for answering that. Any other questions? I see Daisy's hand is up. And Chad. Daisy first and then Chad. Go ahead, Daisy.
Hi, so I abstained because I didn't hear too much about how members of the community can visit. It was mostly geared towards the club, the Astronomers Club, and the students. So I wanted to know more about the community members that are not students.
Sure.
Um,
Thank you, Daisy. So in the last, I'm going to say 180 years or so, there have been 5 attempts to build a New York public observatory, all of which have failed. Some of them raised several $100,000 back in the 1800s, which is an astronomical amount of money in, for today. And yet all these projects failed. So AAA has decided that it's time New York City has a public observatory. And that's why our current name for it is the New York City Public Observatory. So our program, which we've submitted in writing, is to ensure that the public has access to the observatory. Now, clearly we can't have 300,000 people show up on a day that want to, use a small observatory. So what we typically do is throughout the year, we host what we call star parties, and where the public is notified through the newspapers and the media outlets that there's an event going on and everybody's invited to come and observe. At the same time, we are always open through our website for requests for observing, and there will be a director for the observatory who will field those requests, and we will make it available. Our biggest hope is that we have too many people that want to use the observatory. I mean, that sounds a little silly, but we hope that it is that the demand even exceeds the amount of time that we can use it. So it is absolutely a public observatory, and I suspect that a lot of our members may never use it because a lot of them have their own telescopes and they don't actually need to come to a facility like that. But and then the other thing is we will have a program through the Board of Education for schools, not just Bronx, but all schools in all 5 boroughs, ideally to come to visit the observatory so that kids can see what a telescope is, what it does. If they come at night, they can have a chance to look at, very inspirational objects, whether it be the planets or the moon or things like that. So our mandate, the AAA mandate in our bylaws is that we are an educational 501c3, and public outreach is really job 1 for us.
Okay. Thank you, Bart. We have a couple more questions. Chad, go ahead.
Yes, so 2 questions. What would be the typical hours that the observatory would be open? And would Bronx schools get priority in setting appointments for the students?
Well, I'm going to answer the second question first. We have an agreement with Bronx High School of Science, which is maybe, 500 feet, 1,000 feet away from the site of the observatory, to be, I'll say, co-partners in this project. And we really want them, and they're very capable astronomy students, to take some ownership philosophically of the observatory, help us care for it, keep an eye on it. If it gets tagged, to let us know right away. And they will have access to the observatory. They'll have, quote unquote, the keys to the roost. And we also have been in discussion with Lehman College right next door on the other side of the site, because they have undergraduate astronomy students that can use the observatory, and we want them to also to have a little bit of ownership. So there will be a somewhat of a Bronx-centric ability, or not ability, but access to the observatory. That said, as I mentioned before, it's a facility for the entire city of New York. And we're hoping that we hear from schools everywhere that say they would like either to set up maybe a research project using the telescope and the equipment in the observatory, or just to come visit periodically. So everybody gets to use it. And as I mentioned, I'm hoping that the demand exceeds the the ability for us to fill it. Then we'll have to
Okay,
build more
Thank you. We
observatories.
have a couple more questions. Myrna, go ahead.
Yeah, so when I saw this on the agenda, I was very happy to hear that this is coming to the Bronx. I think it's a great thing for our public school students. I would like it to be not just Bronx Science controlling it, though. This is the first time I'm hearing that. We do have DeWitt Clinton right there. We have a lot of high schools in the neighborhood, and this would be great for our middle school kids. It's just a great addition to the Bronx. I'm all for it. Thank you for even thinking of bringing it to Jerome. It's just going to be a great asset for the children of New York City, because you said it's for everybody.
For everybody.
And, yeah, so it's a great thing. So let's, anything we can do to push this forward is great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Myrna. And we have one more hand up. Andrew, go ahead.
Yeah, the Bronx High School Science already has a planetarium on the roof, 35-seat planetarium. And my question is, how does your planetarium differ from the one on the roof of the Bronx Bronx High School Science?
Okay, so if I can draw the distinction, we're putting in an observatory with a telescope. The planetarium is an internal structure in the building that projects images onto a dome from inside. So that's for teaching students through its mechanism to project the sky. The beauty of a planetarium is it's day or night. The weather doesn't matter, but they're not actually looking at the sky. They're looking at a projection. In our observatory, people will step up to an eyepiece and look through that eyepiece and actually see Saturn's rings or craters on the moon or double stars or whatever it happens to be that we're looking at. So they're sort of complementary, which is one of the reasons that we were talking and in discussion with Bronx High School of Science when we were looking for a site. We were originally hoping to put the observatory on their campus. And they said, well, we're crazy if we want to work with the Board of Education for putting up a structure. That could be an onerous process. So we elected to go with parks. We've got a good history with parks. So I hope that explains it for you.
Okay, thank you, Bart. Do we have anybody else?
Diana,
go ahead.
Yeah, you have two more hands.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead, Taylor.
I'm not too sure if this was a question that was already asked or if it was answered, but I would like to ask if community members like the youth were to want to utilize this, would there be sign-up sheets, or how would we be able to have access just for the community, not if we were part of any organizations, just let's say if there's just a group of kids that want to attend?
So we have through AAA, we already have a public outreach program and a schools outreach program. And then there will be a director for the observatory. And I'm absolutely certain that it will be built right into our website for inquiries to use the observatory, whether it be the public or whether it be schools or whether it be community organizations. And there hasn't actually been a lot of mention about other organizations, but I'm hoping that like the PAL, or Boys and Girls Clubs, or churches, or any community organization that is interested in studying the night sky and using a telescope will get in contact with us. And let me just add one last quick thing. We typically have public star parties all around the city now. We did a sidewalk astronomy event at Harris Park last year that was really well received. And that's one of the reasons that we looked harder at Bronx for putting up this dome. So the community, is really on board with this as far as we can tell. And we want those community groups to get in touch with us and say, hey, can we come by, on such and such a night and look through the telescope? If it's at all possible, the answer will be yes. The only thing we can't control is the weather.
Thank you.
Andrew, your hand is up. Do you have another question, or did you forget to take it down?
As usual, I forgot.
Oh, okay. All right, so at this point, if there are no other questions, we can take a vote on sending a letter of support to the Department of Parks in regard to the installation of this observatory at your own park.
Okay.
All right,
Motion is second by,
it was seconded by someone when I originally read it.
sorry. Okay, so let's take a vote.
Okay, we're ready to go?
Okay. Leuris Acosta,
Leuris Acosta approves.
thank you. Tasha Andrews,
Tasha Andrews approves.
thank you. Betty Arce,
Betty Arce approves.
thank you. Jahaira Arias approves. Emanuela Samoa, Eric Asensio,
Eric Asensio approves.
thank you. Michelle Avila,
Michelle Avila approves.
thank you. Toby Buford,
Toby Buford approves.
thank you. Myrna Calderon,
Myrna Calderon approves.
thank you. Ruth Caraballo,
Ruth Caraballo approves.
thank you. Manjur Shahuri,
Manjur Chaudhary approve.
thank you. Sandra Erickson,
Sandra Erickson approves.
thank you. Nora Fury, not with us. Hugo Gonzalez,
Hugo Gonzalez approves.
thank you. Alfred Grant,
Alfred Grant approves.
thank you. Laurel Green,
Laurel Green approves.
thank you. Helene Harmon Kanowski,
Elaine Hartman Kutnowski approves and is very excited about it.
thank you. Jean Hill,
Jean Hill approves.
thank you. Mama Borjul,
Baba Bujula approves.
thank you. Andrew Leosa,
Andrew Leosa approves the motion.
thank you. Rosalie Leslie,
Yes, Rosalie Leslie approves.
thank you. Jenny Medina is not with us. Shaniqua Newton is not with us. Taina Peña,
Aina Peña approves.
thank you. Daisy Perry,
Daisy Perry approves.
thank you. Claudia Pisari,
Laju Blasari strongly approves this motion.
thank you. Edgar Ramos,
Edgar Ramos approves.
thank you. Helene Red is not with us tonight. Janelle Robinson,
Janelle Robinson approves.
thank you. Chad Royer,
Chad Royer approves.
thank you. Victor Saldana,
Victor Saldaña approves.
thank you. Maharani Subajan,
Maharani Sibajan approves.
thank you. Carlos Sosa,
Carlos Sosa.
sorry, Carlos, I couldn't hear the last part.
Carlos Sosa approves.
Thank you. Thank you. Samantha Suvatis,
Samantha Suvatis approves, keeping it 100.
thank you. Barbara Stronzer,
Barbara Stronzer approves.
thank you. Gwendolyn Thomas Steed is not with us tonight. Adeline Walker Santiago,
Adeline Walker Santiago gladly approves.
thank you. Helene Wilson,
Helene Wilson approves.
thank you. Okay, motion passes.
Okay, thank you, everybody. And Bart promised to let us know as a community board as soon as the observatory is up and ready to go.
Yeah, we're hoping to have a groundbreaking and I hope it'll be in April.
Great.
And then we should be having what's called a first light party. And that would probably be in May, maybe April.
Great. Keep us
So,
posted.
thank you all so much. We really
We're
appreciate
looking
it.
forward to it. We're very excited to have this in our area. It's a great news. Great news.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night. Okay, moving on with the agenda. We're going to move on to, we're going to call on the committee chairs for their updates. Okay, so go. Okay, Barbara, we'll start with you since we're just there.
Okay, next month, we're hoping to have someone from forestry. They have been missing in action from our meetings. We have more than a few dead trees to be removed and many empty tree pits that need some new plantings. So hopefully now that we have a new Bronx commissioner and all, we will get someone from forestry. Our next meeting is Wednesday, February 8th, 6:30. Thank you.
Barb. Thank you, Barbara. Moving on to Andrew, Budget, Personnel, and Ethics.
Yes, we met last week on Thursday, the 19th, and we discussed attendance issues. And we had a motion, and we will forward that motion to the next executive board meeting. And if that passes the executive board, it will go to the monthly general board meeting for a vote. That's it.
Thank you, Andrew. Education, Youth and Libraries, Leuris.
Hello, yes, we met the first week of this month, and we had a very lively meeting. Feel free to check it out on the YouTube channel. We're changing our date to our meeting date to the first Monday of the months for the remainder of the year. And I look forward to the next meeting. Thank you all.
Thank you, Leuris. Public Safety and Quality of Life, Victor.
I'm gonna pull over. Can you give me 1 minute? Can you come back to me?
Sure, I'll come back to you. Okay. Environment and Sanitation, Betty.
Hi, good evening, everyone. We met on January 3rd. We had a very good meeting. We did not have any representatives, but we had some updates. Please read my report. Our next meeting will be February 7th at 7 p.m. And I look forward to seeing many of you attend. Thank you.
Thank you, Betty. Michelle, Health and Human Services.
Thanks, Jahida. Good evening, everyone. The Health and Human Services Committee met on January 17th. We had two really informative presentations from the Department for the Aging, reminding us that they are looking to connect seniors back to services and resources available. This is usually done through senior centers. We will circulate a list of senior centers in the Bronx for folks. Please encourage folks to connect with their local senior center. We also had a presentation from the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs as a follow-up to a general board meeting on the city's response to the migrant and asylum seeker crisis. The city has 10 navigation centers where asylum seekers can go and be connected to resources. There's one in the Bronx on 389 East 150th Street, and their hours of operation are 9 to 4 p.m. We'll also circulate that in the newsletter for the board. And also you can email me directly if you have any questions about that. A really quick update from North Central. The hospital is continuing to absorb patients with COVID, RSV, influenza. Please make sure that folks get vaccinated and are encouraging folks to get vaccinated and follow public safety guidelines. Finally, I know the community board circulated this earlier last week, but Montefiore finally reached an agreement with NISNA on their new contract for the nurses. I know this was an issue that we saw play out in the public. And so on January 12th, I believe they reached the agreement, and the new agreement includes increases in wages, new nursing positions, and an increase for float pool nurses, adding more capacity in the emergency departments. If you're curious for more fuller update, I also encourage you to watch the YouTube video on the board's YouTube channel. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Michelle. Lowell, you have your hand up?
Yes, I just wanted to make a note that when you put out the list of senior centers, you might think about doing the whole Bronx, because I personally use 3 different senior centers, and 2 are in Community Board A and 1 is in Community Board 7.
Thanks, Lowell. They did say that they were going to circulate the list for the entire Bronx and also make some of that information available in print as well as email. So we'll make sure we have that. But thank you for the suggestion.
Okay, there's 2 more hands up, Samantha and then Diana.
Hi, Michelle. I got a real quick question. I noticed there was a compost bin on Briggs and Mashalou. It seems like you gotta like download an app and stuff like that. I was wondering, is there any literature on composting?
Yes,
And I understand it, but I just wanna get more information. Yeah.
Yeah.
That goes to Betty, Samantha.
Yeah.
Oh, that goes to Betty. My bad. Sorry.
No worries.
Hi, Samantha. Yeah, in my minutes, there's a link to the app as well, so that you can access it. There are about six of them within the community board 7 or very close to it. So that's one of them. And yes, there is an app to be able to open it. So the link is in my minutes.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
thank you,
Betty.
Betty.
You're welcome.
Diana?
My question is, other than promotion of like vaccinations for healthy living, are there, Montefiore, or any of the hospitals or health facilities promoting healthy eating, or are there any movements of that sort going on other than just promoting vaccinations?
Yes, Diana, absolutely. So both hospitals have healthy eating programs as part of either larger departments or divisions in the hospital. I'd be happy to connect with you via email to maybe bring that up at a future committee presentation and invite them to share more on that. The topic also came up as a possible area of focus for the committee, so we can definitely explore more on how to make those resources more available to the community.
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going circling back, Victor.
Hi, good evening. Yes, we met on the 12th of January. We had NYPD with us as well, giving our report for their monthly status. They gave out the reports just as they did today. We have more police officers joining NYPD 52nd precinct, which you can able to see on their Twitter page. The community council to take place on January 26th, I believe is the last update. There's also the NYPD is working with the Bronx DA. They had sort of a meeting where they went under Kingsbridge underpass to review how to make it safer. There's also the Bronx DA did mention earlier today about the Bronx Cam initiative, where you can register your home or business camera online with the Bronx DA to help the public with public safety. In addition, we shared the federal government's online training for active shooting preparedness. We also shared information about lithium battery safety. And then also NYPD offered that if the public is looking for a security assessment officer, Acosta, you can reach him at the NYPD 52nd precinct. He's able to provide an assessment. And we are looking forward to our next meeting, working with Officer Acosta to see if we can get a workshop on public safety. Thank you.
Thank you, Victor. Moving along, Eric, housing and land use and zoning.
We did not meet in January, but our next meeting will be February 14. We're working on a few topics with Carla and a presentation on possibly the building that's coming up, the old Sam's carpet. We are also working on trying to put together a list of contractors in the area, in the community. So if anybody has any information that can share with Jade and Carla to help them put together this list, or with myself, that would be of great help.
Thank you, Eric. Okay, traffic and transportation, Edgar. Edgar, you're muted.
Good evening. Our next meeting will be February 2nd. DOT should be there presenting on the expansion of the concourse rebuild. They stopped at Fordham Road. It's been stopped there for a while. Once they complete that, they're going to start north of Fordham Road. So they have some information for us, which will be on February 2nd's meeting.
Okay, thank you. Veterans, Chad.
Yes, good evening, everyone. So we had someone from Manhattan College come to us, introduce themselves to the committee, and shared some of the things that the veteran students do, and we're looking for opportunities to collaborate in the future. We also had someone from the New York City Division, excuse me, New York State Division of Veteran Services. He has an extensive presentation that we will have shared with the office. We also got some feedback from Fordham Village Veterans House at 355 East 194th Street. They just recently have new elevator issues that has resurfaced. We're looking to see if intervention is needed. Also, we had a representative from the VA also share with the committee that the VA is looking to partner with community stakeholders on suicide prevention coalition among veterans. Our next meeting is scheduled to be on February 15th. Everyone is more than welcome to attend.
Thank you, Chad. Okay, moving along. Bylaws, Myrna?
Just unmuting myself. Yes, so we'll be meeting tomorrow. This will be the final read through before it goes to the executive board and then full board. So it might be a little bit longer than usual. So 6:30 tomorrow.
Thank you, Myrna. And last but not least, Michelle on the DM screening committee.
Sure, thanks, Jahida. The committee has met twice. We met once to review and edit the job description. We have sent the job description to the Bronx Borough President's office, and we're waiting for approval for it to be posted. Once it is posted, it will be up for about 1 month. All interested applicants must apply online through the online portal. We will not accept any resumes via email or in paper. Once that process has concluded, the committee will meet again to bring in candidates and make recommendations for selection of final candidates. Once that's done, we will, of course, send the recommendations to the board and hopefully have a new district manager. Jahida, did I miss anything there?
Nope, you got everything.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, with that being said, that's all the committees. Now we're moving the agenda along. So now it's open for board member questions and comments. Anybody say anything? Oh, going once.
You
Going
have one
twice.
hand, Yahira.
Oh,
Lowell's hand is
there
up.
you
Oh,
go.
you have two hands
Okay,
now.
hi, two. Lowell, go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, the borough president has started an initiative about getting working fire alarms in people's apartments. And I've been told that retired firefighters will come in and put them in, and the borough president is working with the Red Cross. So maybe you could look into that and put it into the next community board newsletter.
Thank you. We'll look into that. Thank you.
Okay,
Lowell.
thanks.
Thank you. Helene Harmon-Kanowski?
Yes, hi, this question is for Edgar. The changes in the bus stops, I would say the most onerous change is 204th Street and Bainbridge. There's a shelter there. The 28 and the 34 used to stop there. It's convenient, very near the supermarket, all kinds of stores. That stop has been moved to Marshall Parkway, and there is no place to sit. They haven't moved any of the shelters. Is there a plan to move them, or are they planning on waiting to be sure that the changes are final?
I haven't been told at all about the process. That's something MTA kind of holds in-house, but we can reach out to them and find out.
Yeah, because I mean, it's unfortunately it's a bad decision to move it to begin with, but then you have people standing there with groceries and no place to sit down or get out of the rain as well. So it's kind of adding insult to injury. Thank you.
This is from the Office of Councilman Radinowitz. In regards to that bus stop, we reached out to MTA and we got a response today that the eastbound stop is still active, but the westbound stop was removed. But DOT has yet to remove the shelters that they removed, which is probably why people are kind of confused and thinking that that stop is still active. So they're gonna be bringing that down, but if you have any other questions or like any other concerns, you can send it to me. I'll put
Yeah,
my-
no, Amanda, this is Amanda, am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm referring to another bus stop. The bus
204
stop,
Bainbridge and East 204th Street.
yeah, that one, is totally closed off. Okay, I'm
The
sorry, I
nearest
thought you
stop
meant
now is gonna
the,
be on 206th Street, is what MTA let me know.
yeah, but what I'm referring to is they moved the old bus stop down to East Marshall Lou and to a 4th. You're not telling me they're changing that, are you?
I'm sorry, I may have been confused. You mentioned Bainbridge Avenue and East 204th, right?
Right, that's where it was. It was on the very busy corner diagonal to the supermarket, all the stores where people would want to have a bus stop. And they moved it to down a block by Marshallou Parkway because I don't think they really did a great job of seeing who was getting on the bus and at what stop. They just looked to see how close the bus stops were. That's what it appears to me because very few people are ever at Marshallou Parkway and 204th Street. I actually take the buses. So it really makes absolutely no sense and it's a hardship on everybody.
I
But
think she means Moshulu Parkway, from Moshulu Parkway North and Bainbridge.
I do. Thank you. Yes.
Yes, not
Well,
204.
I'm sorry. You're right. I always confuse them. Thank you so much. Exactly. So it's Bainbridge where it turns. There's really, the whole thing is pointless. But if they're going to keep it, which I don't think they should, and I will call on that one as well, they should at least be providing seats and better lighting. Because it's really in the middle of nowhere.
What I'm going to suggest, send an email to the office staff and we'll circulate it to Councilmember Dinowitz's office as well as DOT so that we can have this also looked into in an agenda for traffic and transportation.
Thank you. Yeah, because this is a bigger issue than the other complaint that I had.
I suggest to everyone, if they have something of complaint, something like that, if you can take a picture and send it, that always helps, or a video that always allows for a better visual sometimes. So if you have that, send it over to the office. We'll follow it through with the council member's office and as well as DOT at Traffic and Transportation so that we can have a better answer for you. Okay?
Terrific. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Eric, you had your hand up?
Yeah, my comment also has to do with the MTA. I don't know if the elected officials can do something to get them to come to the board. We haven't seen them in like over a year, ever since the bus redesign. And I think that the community needs to be able to voice their comments to the MTA. Like, for example, one of the budget request items that we have is to extend the hours of the Express D train. And now that it has resumed their schedule as express during the peak hours, it will be something to be discussed, I think, with the MTA. So if the elected officials or somebody can do something to habilitate that conversation, that would be amazing.
Thank you, Eric.
Hi, Eric. So we are in conversations with the liaison from the MTA. They have expressed that they can only come if there are topics that need to be addressed. So if you have any MTA related topics that you would like to have more insight or addressed or being addressed, please send it to the office staff.
Then
to
Carla,
myself and Jade.
we can just send them the
and-
whole budget request that we did for the city. Like half of those items
we'll
are
take
for
it
the
from there.
MTA.
And I also concur, like a simple request to, if the bus stop is changed, simply taking down the shelter so that the community is clear on the changes, I think is like minimal to ask.
Okay, so we will follow up with MTA as to these notes and hopefully have them come to either Traffic and Transportation or have them come to the next general board. Okay, Samantha, you had your hands up?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Helene, if you're sending that email, could you please tag me On that, I would like to add the fact that the bus stops are way too close to each other from Marshall Parkway and Bainbridge, and then the next stop is Marshall Parkway South and Bainbridge, which again, doesn't make any sense to move that.
No,
much.
yeah, it's a dead end.
Yeah, so if you
Thank
can
you.
please tag me as well, thank you.
Sure.
And this is
will
why I
do.
reiterate, if you can take a picture or video, that extremely, I know it can be annoying.
Yeah, that's fine.
stuff,
That's
but
cool. I can do
if you
that.
could take pictures or a video, it helps us out tremendously because it pinpoints the actual location of where these things are, and it helps out tremendously.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah, I
doesn't
can do
hurt.
that. Thank
Okay,
you.
They spent hours on it. When they presented, they told us they worked from maps. They have so much data on it already. We can do it, but it's a little disappointing.
Understood. Well, we'll circle back with MTA and hopefully we can have them here to let them know our concerns. Okay, anything else?
I do have a question. I know this is a little off topic. This is for a question for Eric Asensio with land use. I'm not too sure if this is a topic that has been discussed, but I had brought it up before I was a board member regarding the old public library that is, I believe it's in Marion. It's right by the new public library of Fordham. I just wanted to know if there's any conversations that have been had regarding the use of this space that has been vacant for a very long time, and if there's any ideas of creating any youth centers in this space, because it's very much needed in that area. So that's my question. Is there any conversations regarding the space?
No, we haven't had any conversations regarding the space, but we have reached out to the council member to begin those conversations so that we can have some input into what the community would like to see.
Exactly. I would really love to see conversations being had and having the community have an input on what should be placed there rather than just something being placed there without the community's knowledge.
Right, so
Just
it's
as
something
an
that,
update,
so go ahead, Carla, sorry.
DCAS is using, I believe, the second floor as office space. And that is the Department of Citywide Administrative Services. So the space is being utilized. I mean, at least some of the space.
Okay,
right,
thank you
so,
for that
right.
update.
I think
So
Diana,
if that
Diana, are you more referring to the first floor part of the building?
Yeah, I mean, that building is huge. There's a basement, because I remember going there when I was a child. There's a basement, there's a first floor, a second floor. So that the building is really big, and I would be hoping that space is going to be utilized for something important, such as youth, like a youth center or something like that. So I hope that can be a conversation being placed in that committee meeting.
Okay, we've had in the past discussed what will be of that space, and eventually elections happen and elected officials changed, so forth and so forth. So hopefully now we can get those conversations going again and hopefully get something done in that space.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I just wanted to bring that conversation up. Thank you so much for giving me the time.
Now, I recall, Ira, that we had approved a motion to use that space as a testing center for New York City jobs.
Correct.
So at this point, I don't know if they started using it as such, but that was the city's intent anyway.
I think that ended up being with DCAS extend, if I remember correctly, DCAS expanded the space, took more space from the original.
That is what Carla, what Carla just mentioned is what went in there, Barbara.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, so that's
Yes.
not a testing area then?
It's testing and offices for DCAS on the third floor.
Yeah, DCAS has the whole entire third floor, which if I remember correctly, they only started with a specific square footage, and then they realized they needed way more, and they took over the whole entire space.
Okay, so there's still enough space to do something else with the building then. That's
Yes,
good.
there is. Yes, there is. Okay, with that being said, Helene, do you still have another question? No? Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. Stereo, I saw your hand up briefly and then it went down. You okay? Good. All right, well, it's 8:29. And with that being said, I would like a motion to close board business.
Motion to close?
Seconded.
Seconded.
Motion.
Thank you, Betty. Thank you, Helene. Thank you, Betty. Thank you, Barbara. Sorry. Okay. And with that being said, then our next general board meeting will be Tuesday, February 28th at 6:30 PM. I can't believe I'm saying that. So we will see everybody again at the end of February.
Then Myra, I'm
I-
sorry, that'll be
yes.
in person because we're only extended for.
We will know as we get closer, or on February 15, like it normally happens, is usually the day of, that we get an email that it gets extended. So for right now, until February 15th, we will not know. Once we do, I believe everybody gets the email, and if not, then we will circulate it as well. And we will make it known at our, whenever our next executive meeting is, if it's before the 15th.
Thank you.
Okay, so with that being said, thank you, everybody, for a wonderful meeting tonight. And we will see each other again in the next couple, well, some of us tomorrow night, and then in February, everybody will meet again. I reiterate participation, come to meetings. You don't have to, give a lot of input, but if it's something that interests you, if it's something you're passionate about, please make your voice heard, and it helps out. It helps out a whole lot. Okay. With that
Great
being said,
meeting, Tyra. Great
meeting.
job.
Good night. Congratulations,
Good night.
Ruth.
Congratulations, Ruth. Thank you, Tyra. Bye, everybody.
Good
Good night, everybody.